Breaking news! There's a storm of anticipation brewing in Detroit, and it's not just because the Lions are coming off one of their most promising seasons in recent memory. No, this time, it's something even deeper. It's about a superstar defensive weapon returning to form and a quarterback with a second chance to rewrite his narrative. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Lions fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Lions," to let us know you're riding with us all season long. Let's get into the news. There's no new player announcement, no last-minute draft surprise. This time, the celebration is about two names already wearing Honolulu blue and silver, two men who could very well shift the entire trajectory of the 2025 season for the Detroit Lions. And if you've been paying attention, you already know who we're talking about, Aidan Hutchinson and Hendon Hooker. First up, Aidan Hutchinson, Detroit's own defensive phenomenon. A player who, before injury halted his momentum, was arguably on track to be crowned the best defensive player in the NFL. That's not just fan hype. His impact was undeniable. His ability to disrupt defensive lines, pressure quarterbacks, and lead by pure energy was game-altering. Then came Week 6 against the Cowboys, a nightmare for Lions fans, when Hutchinson suffered a devastating leg injury. There were whispers. Some feared it would be a full season before he returned to form. Others worried he might never be the same. But according to new defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard, those fears may be unfounded. Shepard's insight during a recent media session dropped jaws. His confidence in Hutchinson's recovery wasn't just hopeful, it was definitive. Hutch is back, and not just jogging around the field back. We're talking cutting the loop, touching the ground in full form back. If you've watched Hutchinson play, you know the loop move, the supernatural, explosive edge rush that makes offensive tackles look like practice dummies. That move is back in his arsenal. This kind of resilience isn't common, especially coming off a tibia and fibula injury. The medical community wasn't in agreement. Some experts said Hutch would recover in 9 months and return at full strength. Others were more pessimistic, predicting he might never be 100%. So to hear Shepard praise his movement, to know he's participating fully in May drills, and to see that signature burst returning, it's monumental. Why is this news coming at the perfect time? Because the clock is ticking. We're just a few months away from preseason. If Hutchinson is already this far along, the Lions won't just be getting a decent version of Hutch. They're getting a nearly full-powered force back just in time for a season filled with playoff expectations. Even if he's at 90 to 95% capacity, as long as he's delivering 10 to 12 sacks this year, he's a game changer. Last year, after Hutch went down, no one on the defensive line even sniffed double digits in sacks. That stat alone shows how pivotal he is. Now, flip the script to the offensive side, because the second name making waves is quarterback Hendon Hooker, a player Lions fans have been quietly curious about, now standing on the verge of possibly seizing a real opportunity. Mark Brunell, the Lions quarterback's coach and a former NFL QB himself, had glowing words for Hooker. Footwork, improved. Throwing mechanics, sharper. Understanding of concepts, noticeably elevated. This is crucial, because while Hooker is entering his third NFL season, he's still seen as a puppy in football terms. Injuries and limited reps have made his first 2 years nearly developmental only. And here's the shocker, Hooker is already 27. That's right, by the time next season's playoffs arrive, he'll be nearing 28. Yet, Brunell insists his age doesn't matter, because in NFL reps, he's still a rookie, and this preseason might finally be his moment. Detroit is one of 2 teams playing in the Hall of Fame game, giving them 4 preseason matchups instead of the usual 3. That's massive for a guy like Hooker. That's up to 100 passes. A full body of work to evaluate and grow. And this isn't just good for Hooker. It's a strategic gift for a Lions team with both a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. Those extra 50 to 80 play calls, they'll be golden for calibrating game plans, ironing out kinks, and seeing how young talent gels in real scenarios. So yes, this is more than just off-season optimism. This is 2 players, one a cornerstone and the other a wild card, shaping up to redefine Detroit's campaign before it even begins. And as the Lions gear up for a season where the goal is nothing short of a Super Bowl push, this type of internal momentum is exactly what they need. The real question now is, could this finally be the perfect storm lining up for Detroit? What do you think about the return of Hutchinson and the rise of Hooker? The return of Aidan Hutchinson is already stirring up excitement, but the implications go far deeper than just having a star player back on the field. His presence alone impacts every level of the defense. Remember last season? After his injury, the Lions' defensive line lacked bite. There was no true alpha, no one to demand a double team, no one to open lanes for the interior linemen, and certainly no one wreaking havoc off the edge. Hutchinson's comeback isn't just a boost, it's a foundational shift. When Hutchinson is on the field, he forces offenses to change their plans. That opens up opportunities for everyone around him. You think about players like Alan McNeil and whoever steps into the edge rotation next to Hutch. They suddenly find themselves in one-on-one situations more often. That's a recipe for chaos. And chaos, in Dan Campbell's system, means big plays, momentum shifts, and opportunities for turnovers. It means third and longs instead of third and shorts. It means getting off the field instead of allowing time-consuming drives. The ripple effect from Hutch's recovery could completely redefine the identity of this defense. And let's not overlook the leadership factor. Hutchinson isn't just a freak athlete, he's the emotional core of that unit. Whether he's hyping up teammates or simply bringing relentless energy, it's contagious. That intangible influence can't be measured on a stat sheet, but coaches and teammates feel it. They feed off it. In a locker room that's already tight-knit and culture-focused, having Hutchinson healthy and confident amplifies that chemistry even more. Now let's circle back to Hendon Hooker, because this situation might be the most quietly important storyline of the offseason. Hooker isn't threatening Jared Goff's job. Not yet. Goff has earned the starting role, and the organization has backed him. But what Hooker represents is something Detroit hasn't had in a long time. A true developmental quarterback who could potentially take over one day without the front office needing to go into rebuild mode. It's a future-proofing move, and this preseason will give us our first extended look at whether that plan has legs. Brunell's praise wasn't just fluffy coach speak. He pointed to real improvements, better throwing mechanics, smoother footwork, improved concept recognition. That's the foundation of a real quarterback, not just a backup. And think about the fact that, up until now, Hooker has barely been talked about publicly. No hype, no buzz. And suddenly, just weeks into early practice, he's making noise. That tells us something has changed. And here's where the Hall of Fame game becomes even more critical. It's not just about Hooker getting more reps, it's about evaluating him in real time against real NFL competition, with a new OC designing schemes tailored to his skill set. For preseason games, that's a gift. It means Hooker could take close to 100 live snaps, an invaluable experience for a player who has yet to show what he can really do at the professional level. But let's not pretend this is all sunshine. There's pressure here. Hooker is already older than many established starters. He doesn't have 5 years to figure it out. These next few months might be the most critical of his career. If he shows he's capable, the Lions suddenly have an extremely valuable asset, either as a potential successor to Goff or as a trade piece. If he struggles, the clock starts ticking louder. And think about this. What if Hooker balls out in the preseason? What if he commands the offense, makes sharp reads, shows off that arm strength we saw at Tennessee? That could change everything. So now we sit at this fascinating intersection where the Lions aren't just building for today, but setting up for the next 5 years. With Hutchinson back to form and Hooker potentially breaking through, this could be the most complete roster Detroit has had in decades. A team that not only contends, but sustains. But here's what I want to know. Do you believe this team is truly ready for the next level? Are Hutchinson and Hooker the pieces that elevate the Lions from playoff hopefuls to true championship contenders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and keep it locked in. More Lions news, analysis, and breakdowns coming your way. Check out the videos on screen now, and we'll see you in the next one.